Good evening, everyone. And let me thank Mr. Balakrishnan, sir. He has been always in the forefront of change and created this Indus Valley civilization. It's been the talk of every Tamils today. And as he said, our friendship dated very long, and he has been. It's one informal conversation. This idea of talking about AI in Tamil came out, and let me have the pleasure of speaking to you today. Good evening. And I also must thank Mr. Sundar for arranging this program well here. Well, I think AI is talked everywhere. People, it becomes right from a small vendor to a large businessman, they all wanted to apply AI. What is AI? How AI is relevant today's life is going to be the centric, initial slides. Then I will be talking about Tamil. தமிழுக்கும் ஏஐக்கும் என்ன தொடர்பு? ஏன் ஏஐ வந்து நம்ம சீக்கிரம் தமிழுக்கு உள்ள கொண்டு வரணும்? இது ரெண்டாவது. To speak about AI, முதல்ல where computer starts. நம்ம எல்லாரும் என்ன நினைக்கிறோம்னா computer is something which is a very modern device. No. Actually, Antikythera was the first mechanical computer which was built 2000 years ago. Greece have built this machine and they wanted to present it to Julius Caesar. And the voyage left from Greece, and the some reasons the voyage did not complete and the ship sunk, and the history of Antikythera was over 2000 years ago. Then very recently, I think early part of this century, they are able to recover this machine, and when they look at it, it has got so much of gears, and it is just to understand the celestial movement. So they built it so beautifully that you will be able to locate the celestial movement every hour or every minute whenever you need it. So this was the first mechanical computer. So the computing thought to the human being started not now, 2000 years ago. And Greeks were so modern and they have so much of ideology in building systems. Now, looking at computer evolution, computers are 1946, first ENIAC digital computer, which came in 1946. Internet is about 56 years old. It's not new. When you look at the PCs, 81, first PC came, IBM PC. When you look at web, Tim Berners, 1990, it's 35 years old. If you look at industrial robot, it's 64 years old. We talk about robot today, but it is 61 years old. The technology is very old. If you look at wireless communication, it's 25 years old. If you look at artificial neural networks, it's 1953. This alone, I wanted to expand a little bit. 1953 at Dartmouth College, McCarthy and his team met for a great, that was a very important conference. They talked about Alan Turing's paper on artificial intelligence. He's the man who sowed the seed. He wrote about artificial intelligence, and the topic was discussed. Then they wanted to see an intelligent, a human intelligence, a cognitive thing, which they wanted to make it into a machine. Yeah, what name they can suit? Finally, McCarthy called it as artificial intelligence. That is where this born. And you know what happened? In 1956, Professor Samuel of Dartmouth College, he came up with an idea of building a checkers computing device. A computer, he made it into a checkers playing machine. And he challenged the entire globe who can play with this machine. Finally, Connecticut champion came forward and he played with the machine and he lost it. That was the first victory of artificial intelligence. We talk about artificial intelligence today, but it started developing from 1953. And the growth gone phenomenal, various reasons because of the computing power. Then comes your 3D, I mean, your additive printing, which is again not a new technology, it's about 40 years old. We talk about Internet of Things, IoT. Carnegie Mellon University has done for the Coke, which was 43 years old. So all these are old. Technologies are old. What is new in it? That's what we are going to look at it now. You see, in the 40 to 50 years, what really happened, your power of cost reduction is about 1,000 times it is reduced. Computers, sensors, wireless networks, speed increased by 1,000 times. So you can imagine cost started falling and the speed of the machine start growing. And second, memory, it is going by about 100,000 times. It starts zooming up. And as you all know about Moore's law says every 2 years, your power of computing doubles with a minimal escalation of cost. So, semiconductor device, initially they did as IC chip. No, initially it was triode wall. Triode wall, they moved into transistor to integrated circuit, then very large scale integrated circuit, ultra very large scale integrated circuit. Now it has moved into quantum computing from valves to quantum computing, which is becomes a molecular computing. So to this extent, computer has grown. Power of computing has grown. Then global connectivity that has also gone through web and cloud, while systems are accessible to people. So imagine the moon's mission was done in 6 MB RAM. A system with 6 MB RAM, they managed the moon's mission. 1969 moon's mission was done as 6 MB RAM. But today you all hold at least 512 GB. So imagine each one of you have got unimaginable supercomputer when we see what happened in 69. So the growth of computing was phenomenal in these times. Then what happened? There is another one, price performance. The same cost in 1935, we get zero power. But today we have 10 billion times your power of computing has grown for the same cost. So what you spend 1935, what you what you see was just a zero or 001 has become 1 billion times. So the expansion and with the low cost has mattered a lot. Then comes industrial revolution. This is another one. Industrial revolution also simultaneously started getting into the world. First revolution was steam engine. Second revolution was electrical engine. And third revolution, host of computers, electronic systems, and everything. Whatever I talked about, everything accounts for the third generation. The fourth generation, that is what we are talking about. It is digital revolution. So digitalization and cyber physical system, what we are really doing is we got machines which connect with a human being. Machine speaks with a human being. There is a internal connectivity which is created between a machine and a human being. That is the beauty of the current fourth revolution. There is a fifth revolution which is on sustainability, which is currently being talked across the world. Sustainability, you all know, the earth is heating up. It's not heating up because how it heating up, your carbon starts going to the and covers the atmosphere. Your sunlight falls from the sun which reaches the earth and it has to reflect as UV rays, but the UV rays can't cross carbon cloud. It gets stays. So what happened? The earth is becoming warmer and warmer. This is a major problem. So sustainability is another major challenge which AI has to solve. Then comes some of the disruptions which happened in the world, which are so vital. First disruption was Kodak movement. What we call Kodak movement when come to America, there used to be a talk in everywhere. The company which can never die in their life is Kodak because they have the chemical and they have the production of films. Nobody could match Kodak. But finally, Kodak wound off in 2000 just because they have not done the adaptation. They have not adapted to digital. So that was the first disruption. Second disruption is internet generation. In 2000s, I used to see everywhere they were digging huge. I mean, every side of the road is duck, and they started laying things. I used to wonder why the hell they have been spoiling all the road, where why diversions and all that. But that created an internet revolution. People could reach until 90s. India's information of the world is very weak. We will come to know after 2 3 days, or maybe a television interview or a television news program. We will come to know a little of it. But today, the moment Trump speaks, every guy, I mean, every person in the remote village of Tamil Nadu also knows what he spoke about is and what is a global thing. So that level of communication has happened. That was internet. Then the disruptive model is the business model. What happened? Business was always thought about doing it by people. Uber came, just disrupted the whole thing. They just gave an a product, a software. The software was managing cars across world. That was a disruption which is really made people to think hereafter human beings are not much relevant. Systems are going to take over. Then comes the IoT and artificial intelligence. IoT is Internet of Things. Very simply to learn, there is a sensor kept in every equipment. That equipment throws information. That information is grabbed on the computer. Once it comes to the computer, we will be able to understand what data it is and how this data can be processed to take decisions. So, so this is so vital. Even nuclear plant or any ongoing plant, this data become important. This is IoT. That moves into an artificial intelligence. It makes a lot of sense. Then finally, the adaptation curve. More clearly, I will show you here. If you look at the adaptation curve, you see, power steering 1951. It was innovated in 1951. To stabilize, it took 1985. It took about 35 years for a power steering. Oh, you know that every car and bus, you have power steering. The power steering was innovated in 1951, but to stabilize into a workable thing in 1985. So the time that it adaptation, it takes about 35 years. Look at the smartphone. Hardly 2 years, it reached everybody. So, what is that is happening? Every innovation reaching the people. So, if you are not catching up with the innovation, if you are not catching up with the technology, we are not going to succeed in any way. So similarly, I wanted to do the digitization. There is an evolution. If you look at an ERP, enterprise resource planning, earlier we have been doing programs in silos. We'll do finance separately, inventory separately, and there will be sales separately. But ERP came connected. They connected entire process into one bundle. That was the first ape. Then comes e-commerce, a little human outlook case has come. It is moved into a web centric. It becomes a portal that acts everything. Then moves into self service. Self service is nothing but it is a, an expert system. It's an expert system for a particular function. If you create an automated model, that's called self service automated model, and the model will take care of the entire functions of this particular application. Then moves to ro- robotic process automation, RPA. This is what everyone started wondering, because welding, your host of welding, your host of assembling, the host of your factory automation was managed by robots. This was another disruption. Then comes finally artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is going to be the ultimate of all modernization. Oh shit. Now comes, I want to do an introduction about artificial intelligence. If you want to know what is artificial intelligence, just a definition. It's nothing but we are trying to introduce the cognitive sense with the human intellect to a system. That is what you can, if you want to understand artificial intelligence very simply, you are cognitive, meaning artificial neural network. You are trying to build how our brain works, that with an human intellect. See what we are doing with the process, we are trying to copy over an neural ideology. That is what we call it artificial intelligence. To start with, machine learning. What is machine learning? Machine learning is data. You have huge amount of data. The data gets processed. Once you process the data, you come into lot of uh, you know learning points. It will start emerging out of it. These points, we are trying to build this deep learning, which is nothing but artificial intelligence. We are trying to build this learning into a cognitive systems, neural systems. Then what happens? This simulates the human intelligence into a workable model. So this is what the steps that it goes through. And NLP, that is a natural language processing. This is what most vital. What happens so far? We have been making our queries to typing. We always type before the computer, ask for questions. Now you can go talk to the computer. You can say, "Look, I need it." Then it does. If you are not able to see, most of the time people drive cars, they are not in a position to just call the take the mobile and type it, or take a computer and type it, but they just open it. They keep asking, it will start throwing. You have a screen already, you are able to see, so you save time, you learn a lot. So this is called natural language processing. This natural language processing machines have got multiple machines, I mean multiple languages. So almost most of the developed languages are under NLP. Then there are two different artificial intelligence we can talk about. One is the narrow AI, which is specific to an application, and another is the general AI, which is otherwise called generative AI, which is a totally self-learning. It will do by itself. Once you give the contours to the system, it will do it by itself. Chat GPT 4, and now you have got Chat GPT-O3, which is the latest one, which I will talk about later. Now, coming to AI, where is exactly AI works? Let me take medical diagnostics. See, medical diagnostics, when you see, earlier we talked about standard treatment guidelines. We called it STG. That's what we have been, and there is a code called this DCP and DCD. So these are all code numbers which we got for every disease and every procedure. This particular code we have to follow, and this is the statement. I mean standard treatment guidelines. Today, what happens? Personalization of, I mean, the diagnostics becomes more personalized treatment. How they do personalized treatment? Because gene of a person, I mean, every genomic data of a person will be different, and his pharmacogenomics is different. Once you have these data, then your medical history, then your clinical data, if you process through an AI, which will give you a prognosis and diagnosis. Now, this diagnosis and prognosis are so relevant. This is not going to be challenged in by anybody, because this is the exact prognosis it gives, exact diagnosis it gives. Then what happen? You will be able to further do about the precision drug. I have an instance to quote. Maybe doctor may be interested to know. See, in Japan, one of the princes had got cancer, and she got cancer which they have given the first load of drug and did not have any improvement. Then they wanted some experts across world. So when all of them went, I had a chance to go with them. For processing, I went. See, when all of us gone there, we have done the genomics and paragenomics data processing through quantum computing using the Google network. After that, we got to the data crunched. Then we have started analyzing the past data of multiple patients which came from Stanford. After going through all that, they precisely fixed a drug which was to be modified, precision drug. This White came forward to modify. Of course, they paid tons of money. They modified. The first set of chemo, she had a fantastic recovery. So what happens? This is going to be the paradigm shift. So treatment guidelines is going to change. It's not going to be general treatment. It's going to be personalized treatment. Then come about natural language processing. This is again going to be based on AI. Then power automation and predictive maintenance. What happened? Engines that are running, these engines will be running, and suddenly if there is a fault, it will do an auto correction. It will do an auto correction by itself, and it is going to predict this is going to fail after 3 days. So you do a maintenance ahead of time. This is what is happening. Then self-driving cars, which is again a big show happening across world. A lot of tests has been going. Tesla has achieved, but India it is very difficult, as you all know, because here there is no serious rule as far as driving is concerned. Then enhance recommendations. This is all based on chatbots. Now they have innovated chatbots, which are intelligent one. You can it will speak by itself and correct itself. So it is a perfect human machine. Is called chatbots. Now that is going to be the thing which has total inventory of services we can build through that. The AI works like this. Large database you create. That is what today there is a discussion as to how various data has to be validated and used for AI. As you all know, garbage in, garbage out. If you try to put in useless data, it goes out. That was the case until recently. இப்போ அந்த சிஸ்டமும் மாறிடுச்சு. Now what we do, we have AI application which will try to cleanse the data. Earlier, we don't have any application to validate any data. Now you have got an AI protocols which will cleanse the data. So only you need data. You know what chatbots did? All the existing data across world. It just one zoom, it takes everything to their repository and it has absorbed everything. So Chat GPT has got the largest amount of data which is sucked across all the websites across world. Similarly, of course, Meta created Llama. Llama also, they have their own data. All your data is there with Llama. Llama has got, if anybody uses WhatsApp and Facebook, your data is with Llama. So your any information you pass, your lifestyle, everything is already absorbed by them. So that is what data. Then comes once you have the data and the data is processed, you will have an algorithm to recognize as to how this data processing to be done, what exactly to be done. So algorithm has to be based on the pattern of your data. Then we have to create a continuous learning, which is nothing but one data after another data we get it completely learning. Then perform task with human intervention is almost reduced, very minimal human intervention. Once you come into this O3, even that is completely removed, and AI streamlines its efficiency and so on. Now these are the 10 future trends which people talk about it. First is the agentic AI. Agentic AI is a single process, support which follows you through. If you want to snoop somebody, it snoops, and if you want to follow yourself and do a particular work, it can do. So that is agentic. Then hybrid computing, digital and quantum mix is the hybrid computing. Quantum, we got to talk a lot about it, but I'm just restricting. Then disinformation. Now disinformation is spreading across world. How to control the disinformation? There is a system which is kept for. It's an AI system. So if there is a smear campaign started on the web, now we don't know how to control. But today, disinformation agents will remove everything out of your uh, I mean, any talk about them, any smear campaign, it can suck it out from all the portals. So that has come now. Then energy efficient computing become so difficult. I mean, the energy that it sucks is so much now after your the recent computing devices, we suck so much of energy. So there is an another AI system which is embedded over the computer that will control your energy levels. It will minimize the energy consumption. Then there is an AI in governance, which all of you know. Then post quantum computing, cryptography. See, this quantum cryptography is so important to security systems. Your security layers are hacked easily so far, anything, because the numbers are kept. Today, quantum cryptography, the numbers are floating, so nobody can hack it. That is another one. Now everybody is shifting to quantum cryptography because existing all kinds of security system can be hacked by a quantum computer. So that is another one. Then the spatial computing. Then comes ambient invincible. See, there will be an ambient invisible system will be planted in your system yourself or someone that can monitor us completely, and which can I mean, sometimes in positive computing it can give you good ideas to go through, otherwise it can derail you. So polyfunctional robo, first we call it robo, then become kobo, collaborative robo, now polyfunctional robo, multiple array the robo can work. So this is something that they can use it for underwater, any kind of difficult situation where functions are multiple directions. This is most important. Then the neurological enhancement, that's what now widely talked about it. And you can have a neurochip to take back your memory detail, and also you can have a neurological support like mood elevator. You have a system which will elevate your mood, constantly watch your mind and elevate your mood so that you are not in stress at all. So that kind of systems are now available. Then comes about steps to unmodified human language. You have got zeros and one, high level programming, then the large language models, which is artificial intelligence. Then you are here. Now we are moving to the self aware, general intelligence. That is the last goal. Once you achieve, a computer will be a human, it will react emotions. So that is not too far, because we never thought GPT-3 and GPT-4 will take only 6 months. We expected 6 years or more, but just released in 6 months. And GPT 4.0, now they are moving to O1, O2, O3, they have gone. You know that company OpenAI, they lose $6 billion every year in, they are burning out, but investments are pouring on them. So the point is, innovation is on the full stream. So we have to really catch up, particularly for the language. So now, looking at the key readiness for Tamil, as I told you before, data collection. Then comes model training. We have to have models which are established models like BERT or GPT-3. Now GPT-4 also have come. So multilingual translations is possible. Then explainable AI integration, which is the most important technique, which will actually make your sentences more transparent and meaningful. It will connect a sentence one after another with a meaningful reference. That is what explainable. And we have got two brilliant products are available called SAP or Line. Then deployment. Of course, the deployment is now on cloud, both Amazon cloud and Azure cloud, and every cloud is carrying AI engines. So we don't have to do every program ourselves. It's all available in the cloud. we can call that routine and we can use it. So constructing an application is become completely easy. What our programmers have been doing day in and day out, you can just create it in just 1 hour. If somebody knows AI and he know where to access those derivatives, they can just club everything and put into a program. We can make programs in less than a half a day. So things are becoming easy. Now we were able to do project management, which is normally done by a human being. It is again come by artificial intelligence. So it is intruding in our life so with a high pace. This is the ancient text, I mean, the Sangam Tamil, which is most important. And we have got the best of the Sangam, I mean, works. All this work has to be digitized, has to be absorbed into the computer. And we must also have various commentaries because a lot of people have written meaningful things. We have to absolve everything. And now the point is to connect these literature, all this repository, whatever you are taking, how much ever meaningful prose you have, that prose to be connected internally so that it will pick the right one. If, for example, in the mood you ask for an explanation of your choice, this has to go and pick up that. பரிமேலழக அழகர் உரையா இருக்கலாம், இல்லாட்டி இந்த நார்மலா நேத்துக்கு எழுதின ஒரு ஆத்தரோட உரையா இருக்கலாம். வாட் எவர் யூ வாண்ட், திஸ் வில் பி ஏபிள் டு கோ அண்ட் பிக் இட் அப். ஸோ அதுதான் இன்னைக்குள்ள டெவலப்மெண்ட். அதுக்கு பிறகு தீஸ் டெக்ஸ்ட் ஆஃபர்ஸ் இன்சைட்ஸ் டு ஹிஸ்டரி, கல்ச்சரல், நம்ம கரண்ட் கல்ச்சர் டு த பாஸ்ட் கல்ச்சர் வி கேன் கனெக்ட் வித் அவர் சங்கம் லிட்ரேச்சர். ஸோ தட் தமிழ்னு ஒருத்தரை பார்த்தா அவன் வாழ்க்கை முறைன்னு பார்த்தா எல்லா லிட்ரேச்சரையும் அது இட் வில் கனெக்ட் அண்ட் இட் வில் பிரிங் இன். தென் த காம்ப்ளெக்சிட்டி ஆஃப் லாங்குவேஜ், தேர் ஆர் லாட் ஆஃப் அக்யூரேட் இன்டர்பிரிட்டேஷன்ஸ் விச் ஆர் எக்ஸிஸ்டிங், பட் அதெல்லாம் இக்னோர் பண்ணிட்டோம். வி ஹாவ் டு கலெக்ட் த்ரூ த டிஜிட்டல் மீடியா. ஸோ இது ஒன் டைம் ஒர்க். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், இப்போ நான் வந்து ஒரு காலத்துல ஒரு சின்ன ரிப்போர்ட் ஒன்று பண்றதுக்கு நான் வந்து எக்கனாமிக்ஸ் ப்ரொஃபஸர்ஸ் தேடினேன் தமிழ்நாட்டில். அலைஞ்சு அலைஞ்சு எனக்கு யாருமே கிடைக்கல. ஃபைனலி ராஜா செல்லையா அவர்கிட்ட டைம் வாங்கி அவர்கிட்ட போய் தான் கேட்டேன். ஏன்னா அந்த பர்டிகுலர் இஷ்யூக்கு எனக்கு கரெக்டா சொல்றதுக்கு ஆளே கிடையாது. இப்போ இந்த ஏஐக்கு வந்த பிறகு you will be able to get the best of the information from Harvardல இருக்க ப்ரொஃபஸர்ல இருந்தே. You can check anybody across world and you get the things easy. So every topic we will be able to get our information very fast. Complex. See, another thing, if you want to have some interpretation or a essay to be prepared, it can be prepared in no time. So now திருக்குறள் எட்டு தொகை, பதிற்று பற்று, அதோட கமெண்ட்ரிஸ் தான் மெயின் சோர்ஸ். அந்த சோர்ஸை உள்ள போட்டுட்டீங்கன்னா யூ வில் கிரியேட் அ கார்பஸ். This is a most valuable corpus. This is what we have been, you know something, நமக்கு இப்ப தமிழ் NLP work is not done by any Tamil organization. It is done by only Google. Google is doing, Meta is doing, but we were not in a position to do it. I think we have to build it. That is the need of the hour. See, this Roja Mutaya library should bring a digital house, and you have to start making these efforts, which is the most vital. Otherwise, we will miss something. Henceforth, nobody has the time to take a book and read. They just want to read through a mobile or their pads. Building digital content, and we will foundation of AI analysis is this. Then comes your Silappadigaram. You have got multiple prose that you can try to build a meaningful text and you can store it, and this can be interpreted the way you want and you can bring it. இப்போ இது என்ன, ஒரு 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 1000 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி உள்ள உரை வேணுமானாலும் அந்த உரையை எடுக்கலாம், இன்னைக்குள்ள உரையும் எடுக்கலாம். இன்னைக்குள்ள கல்ச்சருக்கு எப்படி அது ஒர்க் பண்ணுதுன்னு கம்பேரிட்டிவ் ஸ்டடி எடுத்து பார்க்கலாம். ஸோ ஒரு ப்ரோஸை வந்து ஒரு 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 இலக்கியத்தை வந்து யூ வில் கோ த்ரூ வித் மல்டிபிள் ப்ரோஸ். ஸோ வாட் ஹேப்பன்ஸ், யுவர் நாலேஜ் அக்விசிஷன் பிகம்ஸ் extremely important. I mean, through this AI will be able to do it. அப்புறம் த ஓவர்வியூ ஆஃப் நேச்சுரல் லாங்குவேஜ் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, இன்புட் டேட்டா கலெக்ஷன், தென் டெக்ஸ்ட் ப்ராசஸிங். ஐ டாக் அபவுட் கிளீன் டோக்கனைஸ். டோக்கனைஸ் நான் பண்றது என்னன்னா, இஃப் யூ ஹாவ் அ சென்டென்ஸ், ஒரு வேர்ட் வந்ததுன்னா, we remove all that article இதெல்லாம் தேவையே இல்ல. அந்த சென்டென்ஸ் அந்த லெட்டர் மட்டும் வேர்ட்ஸ் மட்டும் அப்படியே இருக்கும். ஈச் வேர்ட் இஸ் டோக்கனைஸ்ட். இப்போ ஒரு வேர்ட டோக்கனைஸ் பண்ணிட்டு அந்த வேர்ட் ரிப்பீட் ஆச்சுன்னா, யூ டோன்ட் ஹேவ் டு டூ. இட் வில் ஆட்டோமேட். ஸோ அப்படியே சீக்வென்ஷியல் நியூமெரிக்கல் சீக்வென்ஸ் உண்டாயிடும். அதுதான் டோக்கனைசேஷன். ஸோ இட் ஆக்சஸிங் இஸ் ஃபாஸ்டர் அண்ட் இட் வில் மேனிப்புலேட். ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம் வென் யூ கிரியேட் அன் அட்ஜெக்டிவ், இட் வில் ஃபார்ம் as an adjective. And the context it should be adjective, na, that grammar rules it will be already built in, so it will automatically take into that. Then extraction, convert text into numerical data, that's important. Then the model, it takes it into a complete neural network, so it is put on a brain like structure, so recalling is easy. As you know, doctor must be knowing about the patches in the brain. So there is a permanent patch, it's a temporary patch, so it just picks it up permanently. But here there is no temporary patch. You don't have to learn the computer again. Once you learn it, it remains. So it is far superior than the human being in terms of memory retrieval. We have time, it doesn't need time. It immediately picks it up. Only speed of the computer matters, which is abnormal speeds we have achieved. Then output generation. Translation is something very important. Llama is, actually, Meta founded Llama. You have got, they created a large language model called Tamil Llama. There is a Tamil Llama which is already built, large language model. I think I have to explain a little about the large language model. I have been talking about artificial intelligence. We create, the first we digitize the data. Once we digitize, we create into an repository. Then we write rules as to how the data should be accessed and given and all that. Then we will create large language model, which is where intelligence is pushed in. Your cognitive intelligence is pushed through large language model. This Llama is nothing but large language model. This is by Meta. They created Atri is GP and GPT-4 are general intelligence. They are general intelligence. You know about what is general intelligence, which is the self-aware. It will do automatically by itself. It understands. If you give the context, this will understand. Then comes Stanford has developed another one called Alpica, which is again a cheaper version. So when we look for transforming digitization, you have got a lot of cheaper version, free versions are available now. Later, this is all going to be expensive. So once you choose this, then you also have to bring in cultural sensitivity. See, context with cultural sensitivity. We cannot identify certain, type of language which is not acceptable in culture. So the language cultural acceptability also done. And once you do it in Tamil, you can translate into any different language in no time. Earlier, we know that somebody writing a Arabic Tirukural, they will take 3-4 years to write. So today we can write overnight. You give me the entire Tirukural, I'll put it in the system. I'll get the Arabic model, Tirukural, and the prose, everything I will extract it in no time. And this can be published immediately on the web. So it is rapid up. So models of language model. There is another product which recently found called Duolingo, which is a Pittsburgh company. They created Duolingo, but that is the most efficient language model they have built, which now now Telugu also came in. Tamil and Telugu now only entered. They have done for all. Hindi has already came. Sanskrit has come, but Tamil and Telugu is now it is considered. I wish we have to tie up with them, bring them to our Tamil language models, and if we do the digitization and we do the Duolingo, basic works for them, they will be able to adapt Tamil quickly. So that is one advantage. And of course, this will be used once you do this, which also takes into multiple dialects. For example, Tamil. கோவையில ஒரு தமிழ் இருக்கும், திருநெல்வேலியில ஒரு தமிழ் இருக்கும், மெட்ராஸ்ல ஒரு தமிழ் இருக்கும். இந்த அத்தனை தமிழையும் அத்தனை பேரும் பேசுறத it has to absolve and answer. So you need a dialect. So the dialect medium is your Duolingo. So this will give you the dialect medium. You follow what I'm saying? So this is so important that we must adapt to the Duolingo. And cultural content, which is we have our own narrate, our folklores and mythology, historical stories. இதெல்லாம் நம்ம பழைய ஸ்டோரிஸ். இன்னைக்கும் மோஸ்ட் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் திங் இஸ் அவர் நம்ம ஊர்ல உள்ள அந்த பாட்டு கூத்து, அந்த அந்த இதுல கால இது வச்சு நடந்து போறவங்க, அவங்களுடைய இது ஒரு சுடுகாடுக்கு போனா அங்க ஒரு பாட்டு பாடுவான். இது எதையுமே நம்ம வந்து டாக்குமெண்டே பண்ணல. We have some videos. If you try to document, you can go back 100 years back. என்ன பண்ணிருப்பாங்க 150 இயர்ஸ்க்கு பேக் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, இதை நம்ம வந்து ஏஐல we can build. That is the superior language model, which is what we have to create. So that this is more or less it works perfect. I think some models we tried, and the models what we have currently, some 20 years ago, what happened? We have recorded certain. I mean, we did certain reverse engineering, and we tried to show it to a people of that contemporary. They almost agreed. இப்படிதான்ப்பா இருக்கு. So the culture has to be built like that. So they all cultural narratives has to come in. Then comes your preservation. See, advanced language model simulate dialogues in classical times Tamil style, and ancient Tamil conversation we can bring in. Ancient, இப்போ சோழர் காலத்துல தமிழை எப்படி பேசினாங்க? நீங்க ஒன்னு, you must get a text of Chola's time. If you get a text, if you have a data, that text data I wanted to digitize and trying to create a dialect based on that. இப்போ அவங்க வந்து ஒரு வார்த்தையை எப்படி ப்ரொனவுன்ஸ் பண்ணிடுறாங்கன்னா அந்த மாதிரி வேர்டு தான் அதுல இருக்கும். நீங்க இங்கதான் நம்ம அந்த ஓலைச்சுவடியோ அல்லது இந்த பட்டயங்களோ நமக்கு கிடைச்சதுன்னா அதுல we will be able to work on the dialects. So we bring back the dialects. That is will give you, you can try to go back to your old cultures and connectivity. இப்போ they have almost done in English, they have done in Spanish, they have brought their old culture back. இப்போ நீங்க ஒரு இங்கிலீஷ் படம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவன் அந்த ஹண்டர் கேதரர்லேருந்தே அவங்களுக்கு வந்து they are trying to bring their conversations. We have not brought it well. So that can be done beautifully. So similarly, all our heritages, all our temples, all our important heritages, we can do it. One of this is this. For example, this temple, we create a virtual reality. See, I had, I have been given the project of doing this Ramar temple, what they have built. They wanted me to, finally it came to us, we did the design. While doing the design, எல்லாமே கதை தான். There is nothing, the content is so much of stories and there is no particular transcripts or any proof. But அதை வச்சே பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா ஒரு கதையை பண்ணிட்டோம். So when you have story, when you have good stories and real stories, what you create will be of great breakthrough. But for example, Meenakshi Amman temple, which is situated in Madurai. Somebody, some remote corner, Icelandல இருக்காரு. He wanted to go to visit the Meenakshi Amman temple for some historical reason or archaeological or architectural interest or some reasons he wanted to see. We must have the repository of the AR/VR. So the moment he gets into it, the AR/VR will take a complete round of the temple, which will be new to you. You may go to temple 100 times, but when you see the AR/VR, you will try to learn lot of things which you may not have seen. இப்போ சிதம்பரத்துல சிதம்பர ரகசியம்னுவாங்க, அது ஒண்ணுமே இல்லை. சம் லீவ்ஸ் வில் பி தேர். அதை லைட்டை கொண்டு போய் கிட்ட காமிப்பாங்க. அதுக்கு யூ ஹேவ் டு பே சம் 100 rupees ஆர் சம்திங். தென் ஒன்லி தே வில் ஷோ வித் த லைட். அதை வந்து AR/VRல பண்ணிடலாம். பண்ணிட்டா எனி ஒன் ஃப்ரம் ஹியர் வி வில் பி ஏபிள் டு see it. That is the advantage of AR. So all archaeological and our heritage, everything we can bring it back into the system. And future advancement is virtual reality and on the spot translation. See, anything that you want to do at any real time, you will be able to translate. That is the best thing, which is already existing. You don't have to buy anything new to attach. It is already existing. So existing one you will have to incorporate. So it is not a very complex issue for us. We have already existing. All we have to do is we'll have to do it. So the pottery in the ancient Tamil works, everything we must dig out and digitize it. So then only it is accessible to the world. People will start respecting our work. People will start involving that. So 1990, NLP model for Tamil has been constructed. 1990, nearly 34 years ago, we have created our NLP model. Similarly, Tamil language corpus was created in 2006 to an extent, not completely, to an extent. And the machine translation initiative, 2015, after they brought that Zycomore, which is a quantum computing system, Google is able to deliver everything at one go. Just to give a differentiation between normal computing and digital computing and quantum computing, in a digital computing, you have a mathematical which will be solved in 10,000 years. A quantum computing can do it in 200 seconds, which was demonstrated in 2017 at the Google's show. So quantum computing, it works at a speed, exponential speed. We were talking about bits and bytes. Okay, 0 and 1. Quantum, you got qubits, which is 0, 1, 0, 1, and 1, 1, 0, 0. So at that time, the whole sequence goes. So every sequence, if you start counting, it goes in geometrical progression. The speed is phenomenal speed. Only thing is, it's quantum, you have its own, resonance, which we'll have to keep it at a particular resonance. Now we need to keep it at minus 271 degrees centigrade. That's the only problem. So I think now they are bringing room temperature chips also. That is also coming in. So coming to this museums, see museum, when someone walks into the museum, they must get a feel of understanding every bit of it. So you can give a normal, I mean, you can give a LiDAR lens or a glass, they can wear, walk in, and they can understand the reality as well as they can understand the nuances with the commentary going on, whatever language you need. Let's say if you do our museum like this, how beautiful it will be. And once you do a museum like that and digitize and put it on open system, how many thousand people can view about your work? And many of them doesn't know. I have seen many of the museums in Malaysia, all these places. Nothing can be comparable what we have here. We have such a lot of repository of information and things like that. But we have to really project it. Then comes, this is the future of AI. It's going to be, we are going to create intelligent search. We are going to handle multiple domains. In the meaning, digital threads we will create, and natural language and a digital companion. You can create a digital companion. So this will be existing either in the mobile phone. You will keep it anywhere you go. You put any doubt, it will be able to answer and guide you. For example, you ask the address of someone, but he didn't send it, but you are on the car, you got to reach it. So if you know any trace of that, if you speak on the machine, this digital companion will start to work backward and try to find the address and give you. And it is accurate. Next, it's going to come. Now your GPS is going to be outdated. It will be more efficient. Things are there already. It is under test. It is proved working. They will slowly bring it. So similarly, traceability to reduce errors and optimize every data. Then autonomous simulation. This is about GPT-4. Now English, Spanish, French, German, Chinese, and Tamil. That was the first set of thing which GPT-4 has taken. Only language was Tamil. We should be really proud of it. They have taken Tamil. And now Arabic, Russians are all now more languages for diverse global communication. Now global communication is possible. Now if you try to write a text in Tamil, you can instantaneously translate in all these languages. And continuous update improves support for additional languages. And this is GPT-4. That's the latest one, which is, as I told you, it is generative intelligence. So it has got essays, stories, poetries, and answer questions. It can answer questions. It can generate poetries. If you give a situation, it will be able to give you a poetry for the situation. And you can build a Tamil grammar vocabulary. You want, if you have a doubt, you can ask. It will correct your grammar and vocabulary. And it gives a host of things. It is an intelligent platform. So key research which we can think about AI in Tamil. AI tools for recognizing digitizing palm leaf. We will be able to do a palm leaf. A person without knowledge of palm leaf will be able to understand and predict what it is written and what is the content it's trying to deliver. And similarly, we will be able to do adaptive methods for useful Tamil language education. So learners have got different curves. This will be able to deliver what based on their learning thing. For example, a Telugu person wants to learn Tamil. So அது வந்து different adaptability is needed. Malayali wants to learn Tamil, different adaptability. So adaptability it does. So that's the beauty. Then showcase progress in NLP, underrepresented language. So what happened? There are many underrepresented language which we can absolve through Tamil. We can help them to have Tamil as a medium to absorb these languages. And linguistic complexities and critical for improved translation work. See, translation tools, very important. Any point of time, any best thing you read from Hebrew or this Chinese, you can take it into your language. Development underscore Tamil language globally, which will only carry. This is about Dasavadhanam. He just mentioned about it. I wanted to, in my lifetime, I want to create a AI engine for Dasavadhanam. Dasavadhanam is the most complicated thing. A gentleman will stand on the stage. One person, he has to continuously say, yeah, some song or God's this thing, Om Muruga, something he has to keep on saying. Second one, he has to have a ladder sangili, which is most difficult to plug in and plug out. He has to keep doing it. And then one person will ask a doubt on Ilakyam. Complicated doubt he will ask. Another person will ask Ilakyam meaning he Sanga Ilakyatila or ஈற்றடி கொடுத்து ஒரு பாட்டு கேட்பார். He must remember all the Sanga Ilakyam completely and he has to bring it out. Then ஒருத்தர் இலக்கணத்துல காம்ப்ளிகேட்டடா ஒரு கொஸ்டின் கேட்பார். அது he has to answer. And ஒருத்தர் கவி பாடல் ஒரு ஈற்றடி கொடுப்பாரு. கைதலை வைத்தான் சங்கரன் ஒரு ஈற்றடி கொடுத்துட்டாரு. அதாவது சிவபெருமான் தலையில கை வச்சிட்டு இருக்காரு. சோ அதுக்கு ஒரு பாட்டு கொடுக்கணும். அது கரெக்டா கான்டெக்ஸ்டுவலா இருக்கணும். சோ ஜோதிடம், அப்புறம் கண்ட பத்திரிகை, இதுதான் மோஸ்ட் காம்ப்ளிகேட்டட். அவங்க 34 எழுத்து 24 எழுத்து எழுதி வச்சுட்டு ஒரு ரவுண்ட்லயும் ஒரு எழுத்த சொல்லிட்டே வருவாங்க. கடைசியில என்ன சென்டென்ஸ்ன்னு அவங்க சொல்லணும். அதே மாதிரி கண்ட தொகை, இது நம்பர். They will keep on giving you number in a matrix. It has to be aligned and the கூட்டுத்தொகை கரெக்டா வரணும். அதை மனசுக்குள்ளேயே பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கணும். 64 நம்பரையும் பண்ணணும். அடுத்தது கிழமை கூடுதல். இது எப்படின்னா, ஏதாவது ஒரு 1814ஆம் ஆண்டு செப்டம்பர் மாதம் 3ஆம் தேதி என்ன கிழமைன்னு அடுத்த செகண்ட் சொல்லணும். எழுதி எல்லாம் பார்க்க கூடாது. அடுத்தது கல்லு இல்லாட்டி பூவு இல்லாட்டி தானியத்தை பின்னாடி போட்டுட்டே இருப்பாங்க முதுகுல. He has to count and say how many he had. The entire program. This will run for about 4 to 5 hours. And this man is alone and he has to stand and answer everything. And இத பண்றதுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு தசாவதானத்துக்கு உலகத்துல எந்த மொழியிலையுமே கிடையாது. தமிழ்ல மட்டும்தான் இருக்கு. ஸோ ஆர்டிஃபிஷியல் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ் எல்லாம் நம்ம இப்ப பேசுறோம்னா, நம்ம ஆளுங்களுக்கு அந்த காலத்திலேயே அவ்வளவு மெமரியும் அவ்வளவு அறிவும் இருந்திருக்கிறதா ஐ வாண்டட் டு ரெக்கார்ட் டுடே. அடுத்தது அஃப்கோர்ஸ் டூல்ஸ் ஃபார் என்ஹான்சிங் தமிழ் தியேட்டரிக்ஸ், ஸ்கிரிப்ட் ரைட்டிங் எல்லாத்துக்குமே இப்போ யூ ஹாவ் application. If you look at it, translation, you have got Google. And if you ask about voice and speech, you have got application Okaturi. and of course you have got auditory. So this will help you to do everything. So now you don't have to work around it to do it. Adhe mari chatbots for audience engagement. You will do social media analytics and virtual reality. And reasons for a death of a language, we should have to protect it, because a language is die because அது வந்து ஒரு அர்பனுக்கு வந்ததும் அந்த லாங்குவேஜ் will start dying. பிகாஸ் எல்லாரும் அந்த அர்பன்ல என்ன பேசுறாங்களோ அதுல நம்ம போயிட்டே இருப்போம். அந்த மாதிரி இல்லாம தமிழ ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்ணணும். வி ஷுட் நாட் அலோவ் இட் டு டை. அனதர் வந்து கிளைம்ஸ். நம்ம யாரும் வந்து ஃபால்ஸ் கிளைம்ஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது. சி தட் இஸ் த மெயின் ப்ராப்ளம். யூ சி ஐ ஹவ் சீன் திஸ் மதர் ஆஃப் ஆல் லாங்குவேஜ் இஸ் சான்ஸ்கிரிட்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க. கடைசி ஃபேக்ட் செக் பண்ணி பார்த்தா இட்ஸ் சிஸ்டர் ஆஃப் இந்தியன் லாங்குவேஜ். அதே மாதிரி சான்ஸ்கிரிட் is a perfect language for computer programming. Again, proved false. And Sanskrit was never spoken by native speaker. No, it was spoken by native speaker. Social media claims that NASA scientists report the next generation, sixth and seventh generation machines are going to be based on Sanskrit ன்னு சொன்னாங்க. அதை நாசாவே சொல்லிட்டாங்க இல்லைன்னு. அதை மாதிரி தமிழ்லையும் நிறைய பேர் இந்த மாதிரி சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கோம். We should stop fake things. We must do a fact check. Every time when you do, you must do a fact check before you do. ஐயா பாலகிருஷ்ணன் பண்ணாரு அந்த ஒர்க், விச் இஸ் ஒன் ஆஃப் த ஒண்டர்ஃபுல் ஒர்க். அதுக்கு அவர் வந்து எல்லா ஊருக்கும் போய் அலைஞ்சு டேட்டாவெல்லாம் கம்பேர் பண்ணி he has worked for more than 5 years to create. அந்த மாதிரி தான் இருக்கணும். நம்ம ஒர்க் should be really authenticated. Otherwise நம்ம லாங்குவேஜ் will not be respected. Please.